Hello everybody, it's Crystal. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to crochet this scarf here. It's very pretty. I like the stitch a lot. That's what it looks like. You can of course use any color that you want. Make it solid. It's very easy to do. You will need to know how to do the basics such as a single crochet and double crochet. I think that's all it is, yeah. And of course chain spaces, but yeah. So that's what that looks like. The stitch there. Beautiful. All right. So for this particular scarf, it's about 9 inches wide and approximately 72 inches long. And for that, this one here, for that size, it's a Caron Big Cake. You don't have to use this yarn. Of course, you don't have to use this yarn. But it is a medium weight number 4 acrylic yarn, 100% acrylic, and there are approximately 550 meters or 603 yards, so about 72 inches by 9 will get of a 4 weight. It was a whole cake of one of these, so the 600 yards you'll get about of a 4 weight. That's what size you'll probably get. This is called color pistachio macaron. I really like it. I only have 2 cakes. That's okay. I only use 1, so I actually have more. I have 1 cake left. Very pretty. But remember, you can use any yarn that you want. You don't even have to use a 4 weight. I'm going to give you the multiple of the stitch, so you can even adjust the size if you want, and you can use any weight of yarn that you want. I just like to tell you the yarn that I use, and because people like to know, so you can adjust accordingly. So yes, the 600 yards of a 4 weight will get you approximately 9 inches by about 72 inch scarf, and this beautiful stitch. All right, let me set this to the side, and then we're going to be using a size H, which is a 5mm crochet hook. So why don't we go ahead and get started. All right, so for the scarf that you've seen there, I started with a chain of 38 chains. Now, if you want to make it bigger or smaller, or use this stitch for something else, the stitch multiple is 12 plus 2. So that means you just make your chain in multiples of 12, and then you add 2 more. So I chained 38, 36 is my multiple of 12, and then I added 2 more. So first off, we're going to start with a row of single crochet, which will be our foundation chain. All right, so we're not going to count this as a row. So for our foundation row, after we get our chain of 38, we are going to do a single crochet in the 2nd stitch from our hook. So we never count that one that's on our hook, this one. So this would be number 1, and this would be number 2. And we're going to go right into it, and we're going to single crochet into it. And then we're going to work across, and we're going to put 1 single crochet into every stitch for the length of our chain, just like this. So this is our foundation row of single crochet, and when you get to the end of the row, following along with me, you'll have 37 single crochets. I'll see you in a second. All right, so I've made it to the end of my foundation row, and I do have my 37 single crochets. Now we can go ahead and begin row 1. So for row 1, we are going to do a chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. Now that chain 1 right there does not count as a stitch. It does not count as anything. So in this very first stitch, we are going to go into the first stitch, and we're going to put a double crochet into that first stitch. And then we are going to chain 1, and we're going to go back into the same stitch and put another double crochet. And then we're going to chain 1 and back into the same stitch again, 1 more double crochet. So in that beginning stitch, we have a double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double. Now we're going to start the repeat for row 1. We are going to chain 1, and then we are going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to single crochet into the next one. just like that. And then we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, we are going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the next. Like that. And we're going to chain 1. Again, we're going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put a shell into the next. Now I'm going to tell you what a shell is for this particular pattern here. So skip your 3. 1, 2, 3, into the next one. We are going to go into it and we're going to work a double crochet and a chain 1. Going to go back in and work another double crochet and a chain 1. Again, another double crochet and a chain 1, and then one last double crochet into the same stitch. So for this particular pattern here, whenever I say shell, it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all into the same stitch. So you'll have 4 double crochets and 3 chain 1 spaces in between them. So that will be our shell for whenever I say shell for this pattern. All right, so now we're going to start our repeat again, and we start it with a chain 1, and then we skip 3, skip, 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 and we single crochet into the next, and just like that. And now we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again we're going to skip 3, skip, 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 single crochet into the next, just like that. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip 3, skip, 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 and we're going to shell into the next. So we skipped our 3, go into the next, and we do our shell, which is the double, chain 1, back in again, double, chain 1, same stitch again, double, chain 1, and one more double will complete our shell, complete our repeat, and that's what we want to keep repeating until we get to the last 4 stitches of our row. Alrighty, I have made it to my final 4. It's the final 4. I ended there. I had a chain 5 with a single crochet, 4 stitches that remain. We're just going to make this side look like this side. So we're going to chain 1 after that single crochet, and we are going to skip 3, skip, 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 and in that last stitch we are going to work 1 double crochet. I didn't even get the stitch, I'm sorry. The last stitch we work a double and a chain 1, back into the last stitch again, and we work a double and a chain 1, and then one more double. I guess that's kind of like a half shell what we're doing there at the end, and that will complete row 1. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start row 2. So row 2 starts the repeat of the whole scarf. It's rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's 4-row repeat. Very easy repeats. Actually, they're pretty similar to each other. We'll go ahead and begin row 2. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work. And again, that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And we're going to put a double crochet right back into that very first stitch. Right here, double crochet, and then we are going to put a double crochet into this next chain 1 space right here, double crochet, and we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then into the next chain 1 space here. We're going to work 3 double crochets into that spot. All right. 1. There's 2. And there is 3. Just like that. Alright, so now we're going to start the repeat of row 2. Okay, so we are just going, we're not going to chain or anything after that. We are going to, into this chain space right here, we're going to go into it and we're going to work a single crochet right into the space. Like that. And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go back into the same chain space and work another single crochet. Just right into the space. Just like that. And then we don't do any change or anything. And now we're going to be working in this shell right here from the previous row. So this first chain 1 space of the shell, not this space, but right here of the shell, we're going to work 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to go to the next chain 1 space of the shell, and again we're going to work 3 double crochets into that space. There's 1 and 2, 3, and we're going to chain 2 again. 1, 2, and then the last chain 1 space of the shell, which is right here, we're going to work 3 double crochets into that space. There's 1, 2, and 3, and that ends the repeat for row 2. Alright, so again, you come up to this chain 5 space here, and you want to go, we don't do no chains or anything after that, we just go directly right in here, work a single crochet, then we chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and we go back into the same chain space again and work another single crochet like that. And then we are here at our shell. We're going to do the same thing that we did before. Remember, we're working in the chain spaces of the shells, not the ones that are where my fingers are. These are the chain spaces beside it. We want to work into the 3 of the shell. So in the first one, it gets 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then we chain 2. 1, 2. The next chain space, 3 doubles right into the space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 again into the last chain space of the shell. 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, and then you just keep repeating that, and that is what you want to repeat for row 2. So I'm almost to the end. We're almost to the end here if you're following along with me. So I'm going to jump here to my next chain 5 space, and I'm going to work a single crochet into the space. I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do another single crochet into that space like that. And then here at the end, I'm going to do the same thing on this end as we did on this end. So in this first, this is, I guess, considered like a half shell, like I said. This first space here, we're going to work 3 double crochets into this first space here. There's 1, 2, and 3. And then we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. And then into this last chain 1 space, we're going to work 1 double crochet. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet into the top of the last stitch. And that will end row 2. And now we can go ahead and start row 3. So for row 3, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. And as always, that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And we will put a double crochet right back into that very first stitch. And we're going to work a double crochet like that. And then we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to single crochet right here into this chain space, this very first chain space, put a single crochet like that, and we'll go ahead and start the repeat of row 3, and we are going to chain 1, and in this chain 3 space right here we are going to work a shell into this space. So we're going to go into it and we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet. That will complete the shell. You got 4 doubles and 3 chain 1 spaces. And then what we want to do is we want to chain 1 after that double crochet, and we come up to here to where we did the 3 doubles into the shell from the previous row, and into the first chain 2 space right here we want to put a single crochet like that, and we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to jump to the next chain 2 space right here, and we're going to single crochet just like that. And we're going to start the repeat again. We're going to chain 1, boom, and we're going to put a shell right here into this chain 3 space. So there's my shell. I do want to chain 1 after that shell, and I'm come up here again. So into this next chain 2 space we're going to single crochet like that, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet into the next chain 2 space just like that. And we want to chain 1 after that, repeat what we're doing, which is a shell into the next chain 3 space, and then we're coming up on the end of the row here. That. All right, when you make it to the end here of row 3, you want to chain 1 after that last shell, and then we're going to end it the same way we began right here. So we need to put a single crochet into this chain 2 space right here, or in, yeah, that chain 2 space, single crochet into it, and then we're going to chain 2, and then we will put a double crochet into the very last stitch, and that will end row 3. Yeah, looks good. We'll go ahead and start row 4. Row 4 starts with the chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. Chain 1 does not count, so we are going to put a double crochet into the very first stitch, and then we are going to do a chain 1, and we're going to come right back down into this chain space here, right here, and single crochet like that. So you got one little chain 1 space right there. Now we're going to start the repeat of row 4. So we are going to be working into this shell from the previous row, the chain 1 spaces of it. So not the chain 1 spaces beside it where my fingers are, but these 3 chain 1 spaces of the shell right there. So we're not going to chain 1, do any chains after this single crochet. We're just going to directly jump to the first chain 1 space of the shell and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to jump to the next chain 1 space of the shell and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2, and the last chain 1 space of the shell gets 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, like that. As you can see, similar to what we did 2 rows ago. It's pretty much the same. It's just catty corner. They're just catty corner from each other. So, and now we are going to into this chain 5 space. We are going to don't do a chain after that. All right, we're going to single crochet right into it, and then we're going to do a chain of 3 and go back into that same chain 5 and do another single crochet, and that is a repeat for row 4. Again, we're going to jump to our next shell and into the 3 chain 1 spaces. We're going to work 3 doubles with chain 2s in between them. So 3 doubles in each. There's 1, 2, and there's 3, chain 2. Jump to the next chain 1 space of the shell. 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, and there's 3, and then we're going to chain 2. And the last chain 1 space gets 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And then we are going to come over here to this chain 5 space, and into it we work a single, a chain of 3, and 1 more single, and that ends the repeat. And you would just keep repeating that until you make it, until you finish the last shell of your row. So let me go ahead and finish out this last shell, and I'll see you right here at the end of the row. All right, coming to the end here of row 4. I just did this here, three doubles in the chain 2 spaces. Now I'm going to go ahead and end it the same way we began. I need to put a single crochet into this last chain space here, and then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to end by putting a double crochet into the very last stitch. That ends row 4, and now we can begin row 5, which is the final row of our repeat. So we are going to chain 1 and turn. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So row 5 is very similar to row 1. We are going to work into this very first stitch, and we're going to be doing that half shell type of thing. So we're going to work a double crochet into that space, like that. And then we're going to chain 1. So we worked a double crochet in the first stitch, and we're going to chain 1. Now into this chain 1 space right here, we're going to work a double crochet, a chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. So we did like the half shell, but we worked it in the chain space and the edge of the double crochet there on the edge. All right, now we can go ahead and start our repeat. We have to chain 1 after that, and we're going to jump to our chain 2 space, our next chain 2 space, which is right here. And we're going to single crochet into it, and then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to come over here to our next chain 2 space and single crochet like that. Then we will chain 1 after that, and our chain 3 space right here, we are going to work a shell. So right in that chain 3 space, we work our shell, which is a double chain 1, double chain 1, double chain 1, and a double, like that. And that ends the repeat for row 5. So do it again. So we do have to chain 1 after this shell. Chain 1, jump over here to these 2 chain 2 spaces, and we're going to work a single crochet into the first one, and then we will chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we will jump across, and we'll work a single crochet into the next one, like that. Then we're going to chain 1 after, and in this chain 3 space right here, we will work our shell. That. And we would keep repeating this. Okay. I'm coming up here on the end, so I'll go ahead and finish it out. Got to make sure you chain 1 after that shell. And then here we are at our chain 2 spaces here. We're going to single crochet in the first one, like that. And then we are going to chain 5. And then we will single crochet in the next one. I'm going to chain one afterwards, and this is how we will end it when you make it to the end here. End it the same way we began. So in this chain one space here, we're going to work a double crochet, a chain of one, go back in and work another double crochet and a chain one, and then we're going to end it by putting the last double crochet into the top of the last stitch, and that ends a row 5, and that ends the repeat rows. So now you would just continue repeating rows 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they are actually 2 and 3 are the same as 4 and 5, except for they're just like catty cornered from each other. So they have, you know, you can tell, see the stitches are the same. So for row 6, you would just want to repeat what you did on row 2, chain 1 and turn. This will be the front side of your work. Well, you can make whatever side you want. Whatever side you want to be the front is the front. All right. So yeah, you just repeat rows 2 and 5 until you get it as big as you want it to be. Or if you're following along with me, I did it to about 72 inches. All right. So once you get it as long as you want it to be, I'm going to show you how to get a straight edge on the top. You want to end on, you want to stop on row 4. And then when you get ready to repeat row 5, we'll do something different than what we would normally do. All right, so say you got it as long as you want it to be. Like me, I set it about 72 inches or so, but you do it as big as you want. And you just finished out row 4. You want to end it, but you want a straighter edge on the end. So this would be what you would do for the final row 5. You would want to chain 1 and turn, and go ahead and start it like you normally would. So we will, remember, this is the finishing row of row 5. Double crochet into the first stitch. Oops, that's a half. Sorry. Double crochet into that first stitch, chain 1, and then go back to that chain space and mark a double, chain 1, and a double. Okay. And then don't chain 1 after it. Just go directly into your next chain 2 space and single crochet like that. And then we'll put a single crochet in each of these 3 instead of doing a chain 5. That way you don't have no chains hanging off the end. So let's go ahead and put a single crochet in these 3. And then a single crochet into the chain 2 space. And then this chain 3 here, we'll go ahead and just put our shell like normal. And this is, it's going to give you a little bit straighter row on top. It may not be like the super straight, but it works. It works. Like that. You don't need to chain 1 or anything after it. Just jump directly over here to your 2 chain 2 spaces and single crochet. Basically what we're doing different is not chaining 1 and not doing the chain 5 here. So we're going to put 3 single crochet in each of these 3 doubles, and then 1 in each of the chain 2 spaces. So we did that first one. I'll go ahead and do the next one, and this one we're gonna go ahead and repeat that all the way across. If you want to chain 1 in between them, you can, if you feel like, I mean, it's not perfectly straight, but you know, don't leave gaps. You can chain 1 in between them. It might be pulling a bit. It might be better to do that. I'm sorry. Go ahead and do that. Let me chain 1 after that, like that. There we go. And then do my shell like normal. All right, so when you do your finishing row on row 5, remember, once you get it as big as you want it to be, your last repeat row of row 5, the only difference that we're going to do, yeah, go ahead and chain 1 after that, is right here, we're not going to make that chain 5, okay? Still going to single crochet there, and instead of that chain 5, we'll put 1 single crochet in each of these 3 doubles. And like I said, it doesn't make it perfectly straight, but it is better than having that chain gap. And then single crochet in that chain 2 space, and then chain 1 after it, yeah. And then do your shell like normal. And that's it. That's the only difference. Give you a little bit straight over an edge. And that is how you crochet that beautiful scarf. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Don't forget to check out my other ones. I have so many. Anything you could ever want to make, multiples of them. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you did. And I'll see you on my next one, whatever it might be. Take care. Bye, guys.